Morning. How is everybody? How are you, Steve? Thank you for having been able to make it. And at this particular time, we just want to kick off. Thank you, even Jeff, for having time to join in. And today, our topic is on how to bounce back from a job loss. Somebody say joblessness is a time that you find a lot of time for reflection. That was Sunday at the Large. Recently, I remember hearing of an American footballer. His name was Chad Pennington. He failed quite badly in his football career. Actually, he got injured. And these were career-threatening injuries that almost rendered him useless in the football, in American football league. And incidentally, it took him months and months of therapy, physical therapy, plus even speaking, being spoken to by psychologists. Welcome, Stella. And this is, it took him months and months of recovery. But finally, he was able to play again for the American football. So even you and me will have a big comeback. When we feel we have lost it, we could have lost a business, you could have lost employment, but you're gonna register a big comeback. And as I said, someone said joblessness is a time of reflection. Michael Johnson also said that even if you love a lady, don't say you'll take care of her while someone else is catering for your needs. So you cannot be under the roof of your mom or dad and expect that you can be able to take care of. That is the situation of joblessness. I remember I have shared here before that as I was working in one company, I came back from leave and I got a call from HR and I was told to see the HR manager before I left for the day. I thought it was normal, tete a tete. But when I went there at 4 p.m., it's when I was given a letter and I was told that you no longer are our employee. And therefore, it hit me so hard. I was told we are going to give you the weekend. It was on a Friday. Go and speak to your family. Tell them that you are no longer working with us and come back on Monday and clear. So by the time I went back on Monday, I found kila kitu yangu ilikuwa imetengenezwa, all my dues. I had a circle loan, it had been deducted. I had a company car that I had taken on loan, guaranteed by the company. I was told to find out of squaring out that loan with the bank because they could no longer take any liability. That is a situation. And one time I remember asking myself, am I ever going to find myself, one, traveling, even out of town? Number two, even feeding myself or clothing myself? Number three, am I ever going to find food for my family? It was a very, very traumatizing time. But I recall I have been able, those are like 16 years ago. I've been able to overcome that. And generally, we are moving on. So losing your job can be one of the life's harshest experience. And I'm sure all of us have gone through them. It could be you are retrenched. It could be there was company re-engineering. It could be early retirement. It could be maybe you had an issue with your boss. And the first thing that you must consider is your career, is your finances. Because you find that you lose your status, your routine social network, self-confidence, and you find you have a diminished sense of identity and purpose. Unfortunately, today I am close to our kitchen. That's why we have a small office. So if you hear a lot of banging of items, Stella, you can be able to relate with that. Even Stacey Philomena, Mwamburi. It's good to see you back, Mwamburi, long time. Jeff, also good to see you online. I have seen Caroline was on. Great. So what is the immediate reaction of losing a job? You find that You vent your anger. You want to, in fact, you can fight your boss. I remember one time speaking to a manager who used to work for Nakumat. When Nakumat started retrenching the first time, I met him. I think I met him at Nakumat Lifestyle, Talent Closed. And he told me when he was given that letter, he felt like going downstairs into one of the Nakumats, buy an axe, sharpen it, and come and cut his boss into pieces. That is how you feel. You feel you want to vent your work. The second reaction you find, you want to criticize your former managers and colleagues. And especially when you start going for interviews, you start seeing all the bad things in the previous company. You don't see anything good. You are speaking, and you know that can make you even lose an opportunity, because you are going to be bad mouthing your boss to the next employer, and you may not know. This particular new employer you want to engage could be a friend, or they meet in a club somewhere, you know, these social clubs, golf club. So be careful not to bow, but you feel you want to criticize your former manager and colleagues. The other third reaction, you feel like you are never going to have another job. You are never going to be employed. And I want to tell you, for me, 16 years ago, I later on got a job with an organization. After 6 months, I got with one of my suppliers was the one who gave me a job as a business development manager, general manager. And I noted I was even earning 2 times more than I was earning in the previous company that I thought was my life and all. Number 4, reaction that you feel like withdrawing from your social network. It's good to identify those who are negative, but don't take yourself away completely from help, because if you take yourself away from people, then they may not be able to know even when there's an opportunity for you. I know some of you have referred you in some organizations. So what are the tips? I want to share the tips to bounce back. I want to share the don'ts that you should not do when you are in between transition. And I want to share the do's when you are in between job transition. One of the tips on how to bounce back is to find where you stand. 1, look at your finance. How much did they give you? Was there any pension that was given, or maybe gratuity? And they actually ask for reference from your former boss. Until today, that employer I had 15 years ago, before I left, I went to the director because I was in the marketing field. I went to the director in charge of sales and marketing, and I asked for a recommendation letter. Until today, I have it. And it has opened for me doors of opportunities. Of course, it was coached in the usual language that this gentleman, because of business engineering, his position has been declared redundant, because I was a performer. But of course, I think he had promised the owner of the business that some human resource capital are going to go. So he had to deliver a target. So I got a letter. In fact, immediately he also referred me to one of his friends who owned a company in the industrial area and was looking for a country representative in Uganda. So not only did I have a letter of appointment, did I have a letter of reference, but also I had a job at hand, and he has retrenched me. So ensure that you know where you stand with the company. It's very, very important before you exit. And we are also told, the English people tell us, do not burn your bridges. Don't mouth them. Don't walk away in a half. The second tip I want to give you of bouncing back is review your finances. Your finances will be squeezed. Look at how the money will take care of you. And of course, trim some of your outgoings and even some of the expenditures. Maybe that's the reason why you need to evaluate. Maybe I need to leave some groups because I cannot sustain that lifestyle. Be realistic with yourself. Number 3 tip is rally your supporters, rally people around you, confined in a few positive-minded people, a few former colleagues who you feel, maybe a career counselor, to give you a new perspective. That time I lost that job. I remember I had come to know one of a senior corporate gentleman. He had been a CEO in 2 companies, in government, and he was also in a parastatal, and he was also a CEO in a manufacturing company. So I approached him and I told him, I need you to hold my hand. I'm not working, and I want to look at the look. And you know, he went in and told me, can you look at your life 10 years from now? He told me, go and sit down and prepare kind of a personal strategic plan for the next 10 years. And he gave me 5 dimensions, which I've shared here before. Look at your life spiritually, because your life is not only work, 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 employee, employee, employee. That time my life was employee, 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 employee. Everything was around my work. So he told me, look at your life spiritually. Look at your goals in the next 10 years spiritually. Number 2, look at your life socially. Yeah, your life around your family, your life around your parents, your life around your brothers and sisters. We are a communal. He also told me, look at your life now, wealth creation, or what we say financial, which is now what drives everything. Look at how you are going to generate maybe money in the next 10 years. He also told me, come up with a goal on your emotional life. Emotionality, he told me, it is something to do with what is it you are feeding your brain. Nowadays, we are talking about self-education. Even if I'm not yesterday I was in a class being taught matters HR from 6 to 7 o'clock, around 7:15. We had and I think one of my people here, we were with them. The point is, you need to continue learning. So he told me, think of your life learning, self-education, not necessarily academic, in the next 10 years. He also told me, look at your life in terms of your physical dimension in the next 10 years. What weight would you like to be? How would your nutrition? And finally, he told me, look at giving back. He told me, Nyutu, Joe, you have a lot to give back. Even if you don't have a job in your hand, you have a lot to give back. You can coach somebody, you can mentor somebody, you can hold a hand of a young Form 4 leaver, a Class 8 leaver. You have a lot. So what I'm trying to say is, get people around you to support you. Now, the number 4 tip is be kind to yourself. It is important to do what you call self-care. Even the Bible tells us, love others as you love yourself. So first of all, you go to love. That's what you normally miss. First of all, you must love yourself before you love others. And the way you love yourself is the way you are going to love your family, Stella. The way you love yourself is the way you are going to love your family, Mwamburi. The way you love yourself is the way you are going to love your neighbor, Jeff. If you do not, so self-care, be a little bit, Charles Karanja, be a little bit selfish with yourself, self-care. Because when you take care of yourself, even when you don't have a job, it doesn't mean that you must sleep until 10 o'clock. Even when you are going through that transition, even if it's a business that has failed, still continue waking up early. First of all, care for yourself. Read, very, very important. Right now, I'm reading a book called The Project 50 by Tom Peters. He has very good nuggets about how to make your projects wow. I also come from a certain community, so I'm reading 1,000 Kikuyu proverbs just to improve, to remind myself that, I need to be, so self-care. Be alert to stress, because stress is likely to hit you when you don't have a job. The number 4 tip that I would number 5, wish to encourage you to do is make a plan. Make a plan. Analyze your strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes you don't do that. I remember I attended a leadership course where we were challenged to go and look at our strengths, SWOT, strengths and weaknesses. And we were given an assignment to talk to 3 people. Talk to your boss or your former boss. Talk to your mother or your dad, mostly your mother. talk to a neighbor, ask them, how do they view you? Because out of those, you are going to get some carded. I remember when I approached my late mother, I was trying to joke to tell her, I want you to tell me what kind of a son have I been? Mothers are very diplomatic. She told me, oh, you have always been my best son. Anytime I ask something to be done, you do it without complaining. Of course, I know she was also a little bit, mothers are always kind, but in a way you can get who you are. So what I'm trying to say is make a plan. All right. Once you know what are your strengths and weaknesses, what are your skills, start connecting with people for help. Make a deliberate attempt. Like when I right now, I'm in the course of starting a business and we've been doing it for the last so many years, but every year you try to do differently. I always say, I'm going to send out 2 proposals every day, 2 proposals. So anytime I have a new LinkedIn connection, I always share my profile and I share what I do. Anytime I have a new WhatsApp connection, I share my profile and I share a proposal. So the issue is make a target. If it's a job seeking, make a target of talking to 2 potential employers every day. The number 6 tip, refresh your job hunting skills. Dust down, revise your CV. If it is your business proposal, revise it. Improve your interviewing skills. Nowadays, you can gain so much online. Oh, there is a lot. I want to encourage you. Nowadays, when you are online, ensure you are self-educating. So ensure you make a great first impression. When you are given that opportunity for the interview, be there on time. And we are told when you are around the interview company, everybody is interviewing you. I want to give you a story that was run by Sane Bidra, the one who does Sane Words on the Sunday Nation. He said that some guys, senior executives, were invited to a company for a senior executive position interview. And, these are guys who are all driving in, with their own, heirs and, they are already executives where they are. So they walked in, and as we were driving through the gate, there was a gate man. There was a watchman who was opening the gate for them. And therefore, one of them came and, he was hooting, so angry, saying I was getting late. So the gate man, who was looking like an old man, he opened the gate slowly, told him, where are you headed? You have an interview. He just went in and parked at somebody's parking. I think one of the managers' parking, and came out with his bags in a very busy way, dismissive. I know there's, remember that book we write at the gate when you are getting into a company? Told write, put your signature, your ID number, said I have no time for that, and then rushed to the reception. Of course, found that when he reached the reception, now he smiled. He told the receptionist, I'm here, I'm so-and-so, I've come for the interview of the general manager for trade and promotions. I'm like, okay, fine, wait there. The CEO has not arrived, and he's the one who is carrying out the interviews just because, wait. He was told after about 15 minutes, he was among the very first one. They were coming according to their timings. So he was told after 15 minutes, now the CEO is ready to see you. He is in his office. Wow. So he was shown a very nice executive, big office, walked in. And as he was walking in, the gentleman who was sitting on that seat was actually facing the other side. So he could only see the back. He had turned his seat. So he walked in, said, hey, the gentleman just spoke to him and said, hey, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. Let me finish something. And wow, the guy turned around after finishing, said, welcome to our company. I can see your papers here, you are so-and-so. Then this interviewee, the executive interviewer, was asking himself, hey, where have I seen this gentleman? Where have I seen this face? This face looks familiar. Oh, who did he know? Little did he know that the guy he found at the gate, the watchman, was actually the CEO masquerading as a what, because he wanted to see you in your true colors. And I want to tell you for a fact, and that's a story for another day, but you and me can agree, nothing good came out of the whole of that. Number 7 tip of how to bounce back: stay positive. Even with all preparation, you cannot control everything. Stella, you cannot control everything. Stacey, you can't control. Charles, you can't control. Things will always go wrong, even as you are looking for that job, Jeff. So stay proactive, think positively, and remember, even in hard times, opportunities still come around. They may not come in the way you want them done. For the last 2 weeks, 2 people have approached me, 2 organizations, the last 3 weeks, and they want us to get into a business arrangement together. And they want me to sign some contracts. Now, what I'm trying to say is that it may not necessarily come the way you want. You'll find you'll get into, maybe like, for example, now you are looking for a job. You're looking for a job, let's say, for example, in marketing, but there could be a sales opportunity open. Don't limit yourself. About 3 weeks ago, I was helping one of my brother's daughters, my niece, to get a job. And I referred her to a very good company, a bakery, with over 300 employees. So when she went in, of course, she's a young girl. I think I had not coached her properly. When she went in, she was asked, can you do the work of cleaning the floors? She said, no, me, I normally have a medical problem. I can't clean floors. And I know there's no major medical problem. She's not really sick that way. That really hurt me, because the owner later on called me and told me, your person doesn't want to work. I'm sure some of you guys have gone for interviews where you are being asked, Jeff, are you willing to go to Somalia to drive our vehicle? You're not going to say no. You're going to say yes, because maybe they just want to send you actually in Nairobi here, but they want to test you. So this young lady said, me, I can't clean floors. And they wanted her to be a merchandiser. But they wanted to see the attitude. Remember, we look for what we call cash. When you are looking for employment, there is something called cash. K-A-S-H. K stands for knowledge. Do you have knowledge for that work? R stands for attitude, which is very, very important. Your attitude determines your altitude. S stands for skills. Do you have the right skills? And H stands for habits. What are your habits? And they are going to come out. In fact, habits are the ones you look for when we give you the probation period. The 3 months probation period, the 6 months probation period, we are looking for habits, because we can never know your habits until you are with us. So I want you to be cautious when you are answering those interview questions. So my young lady did not get a job. I referred another person who went and got the job. Now, this time around, because she's still on my case, I had to look for someone else. But this time around, I told her, whatever you are told to do, go and do it. So right now, she is reporting actually today in another company. But I hope she has taken her lessons. We don't get those opportunities every now and then. It's not that easy. So be honest with the new employer, make a first good impression. The eighth tip that I want to share as a bonus is that extend kindness. Be kind to other people. Do something to someone who cannot do it back. Because we are told in the mind, there is a way that some good chemicals are released, what you call the feel-good chemicals. They are released when you do something good to others. Volunteer in a church, volunteer in a non-governmental organization. Right now, there's a football club I'm helping, in the terms of their social psychology, speaking to those young men, because they are young men who are also in a small football club near our neighborhood. Give, be kind, because as you go in to give, for sure God is going to open an opportunity for you. What are the don'ts? What not to do when you are in transition, Charles? What not to do, Stella, when you are in transition. What not to do, Jeff, when you are in transition. Avoid beating yourself up. Avoid kicking yourself. Avoid feeling that you are not able. Avoid that. The number two things that you should not do is refuse to accept the reality. I am told of a case, of a story of a gentleman that was sacked in a company. It was a government organization. And every morning he would wake up, put on his suit, put on his tie, and move and go, not telling the family, I'm no longer working. I no longer have a job. He did that for almost 6 months. Welcome back, Caroline. And in the evening, he would buy the Daily Nation newspaper and come home as if he is coming from work. Face the reality. During a transition, face the reality. Because people are going to help you. People are going, when you tell people I'm no longer working, they will help you. Thinking of the job loss as a permanent setback, that is a don't. Don't think that that is the end of you. Many of us, I've told you 16 years ago, I felt the world had come to an end. Today, I have been able to fly. I have been able to drive a vehicle. I have been able to, train, even in 5-star hotels. I have traveled on clients' budget, to many places. So the point is, even if you lose one job, it will still mean that other opportunities. And the other don't. Withdraw from support groups. Do not withdraw. Okay, you can avoid some negative groups. Majority of your former employees may want to speak negatively, and you wouldn't want to hear that. But cherry pick the ones you feel are positive, and of course the other support groups around you, your sisters, your brothers, yeah? Caroline, your sisters, your brothers in Western, Charles, sisters and brothers in Central, Jeff, sisters and brothers in Eastern, Stella, Nyaga, Mwamburi. Pick those ones, let them stay around you. Even if right now you are facing a retirement, that's why we are saying some of these things you need to start practicing them. Have a routine. Even if I've started with my retirement, it is good to have a routine. Wake up in the morning, do your exercises, do your prayers, read. Remember, you have been working for almost 30, 40 years reading documents, handling documents. So don't stop, because your mind will die. Read something. We are not in a culture. We are in a knowledge age. Even if you're going to do farming, do that farming with a swagger. Do it with a difference. Even if you're going to do chicken farming, do it with a swagger. Especially those people who have children and you have lost or you have retired. Keep an open dialogue with your children. Tell them, make sure they know it was not your fault. People retire. If you have lost a job, it was not your fault. People lose jobs, and you are not going to be a financial burden. Give them assurance. Your children, they need to feel that they are also helping. Some of them may even allow them to help. Some of them may even hook you up if they are already working. Some of your children will also tell you, me, mom, I can transfer from that expensive school that I have been. I'm willing to go to this one. Some of them, would, if you are candid and you tell them dad or mom is no longer working, ensure that you are candid with your children and of course with your spouse. During the transition, what should you do? Number one, try a new hobby that enriches your spirit. Take up a class. There are so many online classes that you, for little, very little, on airtime, Caroline, for only your bundles, Charles, you take up an online class, Jeff, for only your bundles, join a club, learn a foreign language. The other day I tried a little bit of Chinese. I'm also trying a little bit to learn about our local language. Like I can tell Caroline Oliom Lamu, I can tell Jeff Wemuseo, Wachewata. I'm trying to get a few of those because, Stella. So, but try a new language, attend events that are not expensive where you can be able to network. The number two, do when you are in transition, express yourself creatively. Write your memoirs, Mwaburi. If you have retired, I have a lady right now who is asking me to help her to write her memoirs, her autobiography, her biography, because she is coming to a retirement age and she would wish her children, she's in a foreign country, but she was born here in Kenya. One of her children was born here, the other two are born in foreign. So she would want them to understand her upbringing. So you need to write your memoirs, take up maybe photography, or even, for example, knitting. Yeah, I was listening to one of the CEOs in this country, a lady, and she said in her hobbies are chess, and she loves knitting. You know, some of those traditions that we forgot, they may make you be able to express yourself. For those guys who are Jeff like Charles, who are artists and business people, you can take up creative drawing. The number 3 thing that you can do when you are in transition, spend time in nature, what we call forest therapy. We call it aromatherapy. Nature has so many good things. Remember, those plants, breathe out oxygen. They breathe in carbon dioxide. So there's a lot of oxygen in nature. When you spend there, if you have a compound, do some little bit of gardening. If you have a farm, go there. Recently, over the weekend, I traveled to a farm owned by one of my friends, and he told me when he is so stressed, he has planted maize there. He just comes in there and spends like half a day or two or a full day. The number 4 thing you can do, Jeff, is volunteer. Volunteer in an organization. Volunteer in an organization. Ensure that you are active. Maintain a sense of meaning and purpose in your life. Get some social support. Number 5, we are going to finish in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Number 5, exercise. Trim your waistline. This may also add some element of self-confidence. Don't allow yourself, Mwamburi, to go bust. Stella, don't allow to go bust. Steph, don't. Caroline, trim your waistline. This may also help you to get some self-confidence. As I conclude, number 6, practice relaxation techniques. Nowadays, we are speaking about deep breathing, meditation, if you can, yoga, and you can get these things online. These are strong antidotes to stress. They boost your feelings of serenity, joy, and teach you how to always stay calm. Meditation especially is so powerful. And in meditation, you don't have to say many things. Just sit down. Yeah, sit comfortably down in your sitting in your room, in your bedroom, and just stay calm for about 10, 15 minutes. Let your mind flow. And I want us at this particular point, wherever we are, we can sit a little bit. As Jeff, we can relax a little bit. Just relax a little bit. Relax a little bit. Relax your shoulders. Wherever we are, Stella, Caroline, relax your shoulders. Relax your shoulders, Jeff. Your shoulders are very tight. Close your eyes a little bit. Close your eyes. Just think of a holiday you have taken recently. A holiday you have gone to recently. Or in the last 10 years. Was it in a beach? Was it near a lake? Remember the noises and the voices you could feel as you are in a particular holiday. Take that relaxation mood and remember it and imbibe it and reflect on it. Now we can open our eyes. Open our eyes, you can. I can see Jeff now, open your eyes. I think that has a good feeling. I can agree with you. So take that. In conclusion, I want to say this. I know how much you wanted to keep that job. Take my condolences and remember that you deserve better. So that job, you loved it so much. Take my condolences, but you deserve better. Sometimes God's blessings are not in what he gives us, but in what he takes away. He knows best. Trust him. Thank you so much, guys. I can take a comment, Caroline, and also Jeff. You can unmute and we can see your face, Caroline. I know, beautiful face. Caroline Makotsi. Okay, we can hear from Jeff. Just a comment.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning, Jeff.
Yeah, I want to thank you so much. That was awesome and very helpful.
Wow.
I've learned a lot.
Thank you, Jeff. Then keep practicing. I know we have a lot together. Mwamburi, I know retirement is about. How have you been?
Thank you so much. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you for this session.
Welcome, Mwamburi. It's always a pleasure to have you. Caroline Makotsi. I know she has traveled out of country, so she may be still in recovering from jet lag. Stella, always good to hear from you. Okay, Stella could be in an office. Fine. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Remember, as you have said, sometimes God's blessings are not in what he gives you, but in what he takes away. He knows best. Trust him. Until next time, God bless you. Bye-bye, and have a lovely day.
Thank you.